So today we're doing an update on our RV. It's the 2018 Micro Lite 2509S by Flagstaff. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to be replacing this thermostat with this digital thermostat that also is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And the main reason for that is because we want to be able to control whenever it's parked, control the temperature inside, get the humidity out of it, and as well to keep track of the temperature inside when our dogs are in here. So that's actually a bonus. And there's ways that you can actually control it with your phone and also set different settings where it meets different thresholds. So that's going to be fun to see. And as always, I'm just doing this myself. If you feel uneasy working with any type of electronic devices or thermostat in your RV, then just go ahead and hire somebody or get more help on that. So we'll go ahead and see how that goes. So here's a thermostat for Micro-Air. This is the one that will do Wi-Fi control and Bluetooth control, and this is what comes in the box when you order it. And you have to be specific when you order it. On the website it lets you pick which AC unit you have, and based on my unit I have the 352 version of this thermostat. This is everything that comes with it in the package. These little pieces are in case you have extra holes in your camper, you can fill them with this. This here is what you use to attach it to the wall, and it comes pre-measured with this zip tie. So once you put this in, it's the exact measurement of the back of the unit and it all matches. Then you just cut off the plastic piece and it's perfectly even. And then of course this is the picture of each icon of what each icon is supposed to do on the unit. And we'll get into that once we install it and start using it. And then of course this is the main unit, and as you can see my specific unit has the different wiring system. The other units, some of them use an Ethernet type connection, and that's dependent on what unit you have. I have the Coleman Mach air system, and my RV is the 2018 Flagstaff Micro Lite 2509S, and based on the information that I got on the website, this is the unit that is supposed to work with mine. So we'll see once we get it ready to install. So this is my unit. This is the Coleman Mach unit that I have in my camper. Again, my unit is a 2018 Micro Lite, but this is the one that comes with most of the Flagstaff and Rockwoods, and of course a lot more RVs, but this is the unit that I have for mine. And then this is the thermostat. It's just the generic one that comes standard with the unit. It's just an analog, just really cheaply made. You really can't control the temperature, which is the reason why I wanted to switch to the digital one, along with being able to control it through Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So this is it right here, and then we're going to remove this and put on the new Micro-Air thermostat. So as always, before working with anything in your RV that's with the electrical unit, I recommend you find your main panel. On ours is under the fridge. You open it and you turn off the main breaker. I won't be doing it right now. This is just to show you. But before you get any work done, go ahead and turn off the main breaker so you have no issues with any power shortages or even electrocution. So once you have your specific thermostat that you want for your unit, next thing you have to do is remove this cover and take a picture of it before you unhook anything. That way you have at least an idea. And I'll be turning off the unit in a minute after I turn off all the power, but I'm leaving it on for a little bit just to get some of the AC going on in here. So the first thing you do is just unclip it, and then this is where you want to take a picture of the setup that you currently have, just in case you need to go back. Alright, and now before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the power to the whole RV. And I've got some lights that I've set up just to have some light after I turn the power off. So I'll be turning off the AC now. So I turned off the main power, and I also realized that my battery was also connected. So just to make sure that there's no power at all coming to the unit, I went ahead and unhooked the battery so that there's no issue anywhere. I'm just going to test it. Yep, so you hear it click. So that's good to go now. So now I'm going to be removing this panel, and seeing what I have to work with back here when it comes to getting the unit installed with the actual anchors that are perfectly separated so that you can evenly put this on the wall. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to undo the screws and get this unit off the wall. For some reason they used 2 screws in here, and I suppose it's supposed to be 1. And one thing that you need to make sure that doesn't happen is that these cables go behind the wall and fall down the wall, because that's going to be very hard to get if that happens. So then here's the cables that I'm working with. These are the different colors. So on my unit here, all these cables are going to go inside these little pins, and they're very easy to install. So as you can see there, W is for white, Y is for yellow, and then everything here is specifically arranged for this unit. So on this unit, these are soldered on. You're not going to need to solder them onto the new unit, but because of that, what you'll have to do is cut them here and then strip and expose the cable so that you're then be able to use a little screwdriver to push it in, and as you push it, it opens up the slot, you put the cable in and it locks it in, and then you release. So that's what we're going to be doing now. I'm going to be cutting that and then stripping each wire so that each cable is exposed, and then I just follow each instruction. So each color goes in the appropriate connection. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at each one here to make sure that it's in the right one. And that's what we're going to be doing next. So as I was cutting these, I remembered a tip from someone that actually installed theirs. They went ahead and used painter's tape to hold them against the wall, so there's no chance of them going back inside the wall and losing them back there, because they're very hard to get once they go back there. So once you cut these, as you can see, now what the goal now is to strip these and expose the cable so that that goes into the new thermostat. So here's the cable. This is how exposed it is. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pushing this pin in, and it's easier with more than 2 hands. Then it gets pushed at an angle inside that slot right there. And then once it's in, you let go of it, and there it is. See, you have to make sure that it's snug and it doesn't come out. And then you do that with every single one of these, and that's what we're going to be doing next. So after stripping the cables, now you use that little pin and you put the cables in, and after each one, you want to give a tug on it just to make sure that it's secure. You don't want that to go loose once you put it on the wall. See, and I've already made sure that these are all pretty snug. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the tape there for now. I'm going to take the unit or the little clip that came with it, and we're going to be putting it inside the hole. Of course, on mine, it's actually not matching from the old one, so I'm going to have to drill a tiny hole and use this and put that in there. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back. So now that we put the screws in, I actually didn't have to drill anything in there. I just used a screwdriver right into this material. It's not that thick, so it worked out pretty good. So now the next step is to remove this little plastic piece that helped you align to see how the perfect length from these slots here. Remove the tape and then slide the cables back in there and make sure that they're nice and clean in there. So we'll go ahead and cut that. You got to be careful, make sure you don't cut your wires. And we'll remove that. Now we'll remove the tape and push the wires back in. Once that's in, it should just lock in with the provided screws. So it took a little bit to get it to work, because on one of the sides I actually had to use the little tool or the little insert to make the screw stay in a little bit firmer, because when you push it in, you have to gently push it down and you'll hear it click. And on mine, it took a little bit more strength to click it, as it was not clicking because the screw kept moving in this cheap wall that we have here. So just for reference, if you can just use these at first, it might make it easier, because these walls are flimsy. Alright, so now what we're going to do now is we're actually going to turn on the power to the unit, and we'll see how this gets powered on. So one thing that I remembered is I'm going to go ahead and unhook it off the wall. It's better to leave it off the wall for now, so when you turn the power on, if it doesn't power on and there's something, you can still do some troubleshooting on it. So before I clip it back in again, we're going to go ahead and turn the power on and make sure that the unit actually powers on before we clip it on. So we'll go ahead and get that done now. So, looks like we have power going to it, and it is turning on. So, on the older units, it used to automatically tell you to calibrate it by touching different points on the screen. On the newer models, if you were to order it in the next, as of now, they said that it comes calibrated from the factory. So that's one thing that I learned from watching videos. So what we'll do now is we'll set it up. Let me see. You know what? We'll go ahead and show you how this works again. So you push it in and click it. See, this side's not clicking it again, and it did. There it goes. So you remove this, and so it looks like we have power to it. So the first thing we want to do is just check the settings, and here you have the different logos. So before you get anything done, you have to make sure that, for example, we only have the AC, and then we have the furnace as the heat. So these little 3 bars here, that's your different types of heating and cooling. So once you select it, so yeah, auto gas changeover, that's disabled. And I'm going to leave it disabled because we don't use the furnace wherever we go camping. But just to show you how it works, you'll see here, when you unselect it, it takes away the little off button. So as you select it, see, that one's the furnace. And then what you'll do is, if let's just say that you were using this, you would actually turn that, enable it, and then what you do is you go back, and then here, see, so right there, you would actually choose what you want to work. You can switch it. So what we'll do is we'll test it with just the AC. So I'll go back and turn off and switch it only to just cooling for my unit. That's all I'm using on my unit. I don't have a heat pump or anything like that. Alright, so we'll turn the power on, and right there it's giving you the temperature that it's currently set to. The inside right now is 88 degrees, and it's set to 72. So right now it looks like it's doing some kind of installation in the background. So we'll see. We'll set it to, it's on cool now. And we'll wait for the unit to actually do its thing and kick on. Alright, so the unit actually is ready to go. So as soon as you get it set up to the unit that you have, ours is only on AC only, you'll turn it on. And then to actually turn it on, you'll actually hit this little fan logo right there. So as soon as you click that, it'll switch to low and then high. And the way that you'll know if it's low or high is it gives you 2 bars. 1 bar is low and 2 bars is high. So we'll go ahead and try that now. As you see the snowflake, that means that it's on cool right now. So we'll turn on. So there's 1 bar. Give it a couple of seconds. And that's the unit turning on right there. So if you want it on high, you'll switch it to high right here. Don't know if our breaker will kick right now because we're not plugged into full power. So I'll just leave it on 1, but if you were to click that again, it would switch to 2 bars and go on to the high. So that's it right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be testing it. We're going to be running it here in the house while it's parked. And my main reason for getting this is not only for the dogs, but also so that I can get moisture out of the air in here. So what I'll do is I'll probably just set it to 80 degrees, and it's going to just, every time it goes down to 80, it's going to turn on and hopefully get the moisture out. So as you can see there, it adjusted. It took a couple of seconds. So as you can see, I actually felt the compressor kick on, and it's actually cooling down pretty fast in here. And as you can see up here, this is the inside temperature up on the top left. It's actually starting to go down now. So this also is better because it's got a better sensor on the inside versus the cheap one that came with the unit. So overall, it's a good upgrade. There's a lot of new features that are on here. See this QR code. If you know what a QR code is, you can actually scan that. It'll take you to the Easy Touch Micro Easy Touch RV website to give you more pointers on it. But I'm gonna be doing some testing on it. I know here there's some scheduling that you can do, scheduled events, so that it turns on automatically. Then there's also Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which I'll be setting up shortly and seeing how that works. So that's my video on replacing your regular analog thermostat and switching it to a digital one that is really, it's just such an upgrade because of not only have more control, but also remotely be able to turn it off and on, and be able to also keep an eye out on the temperature inside if you have dogs or any animals that you take with you when you go camping. Stay tuned for more updates as I test the unit, be able to use it. We're going to be doing a camping trip shortly. We'll be able to test it out, and if you're in an area where it doesn't have Wi-Fi, the great thing about this is that you can still do it from outside your camper with Bluetooth, and I'm looking forward to testing that out and seeing how this works. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video, and just stay tuned for more updates.